All right, good morning, everybody. We're getting started with the stream. Excuse me. Let's get us unpaused. We have swapped over to using the crab armor chest plate. We may even swap over to the pants. I haven't fully decided, but the pants are considered fully covering the legs. But after seeing so many people get hit in the stomach and get just one tapped, we went for 100% coverage on the stomach and 100% protection from acid. We're going to see how that works out. Our first group we sent out to fight, they're well into the 30s on their melee attacks. They're incredibly capable fighters already. So we're just out here fighting our way through a portion of Shem that's loaded with bandits and beak things. Just trying to up our skills, make sure we're ready for tougher combat by getting us some experience in combat and cleaning up Shem, try to get rid of some of the bandits and beak things. We've still got some turret guards at home. They're keeping an eye on the base while we're out. But everyone's fully equipped. We've got Edge 1 or Edge 2 weapons, high to specialist crossbows, and very good quality armor. We did opt to go with the wooden sandals since we're already 100% covered on our feet and on our legs. This will give us a little bit faster run speed and combat speed, which is attacks and crossbow reloads, just to kind of boost that up, because the extra armor, while it would protect our legs a little bit, it's only like 25% coverage, so most of the time it's doing nothing, versus these are always giving us attack speed and movement speed. But these are our relatively untrained recruits. This is their first time heading out of the base to fight, other than their leader Hot Longs. We'll go ahead and show you what it looks like when we're firing our crossbows and engaging the enemy. Eventually it comes down to melee in a lot of these situations, but our crossbows really give us a big advantage. They wear down our enemies before they get close. Some of them don't even make it all the way to us to fight us. And each fight we go through, we're going to see our toughness come up. Hot Longs is already really high because she was from our original team, who unfortunately mostly got defeated trying to capture the Bugmaster. Her and Soto barely escaped. They were feeling fatalistic and defeated. The Holy Nation showed up on our doorstep and we had no one they would accept to do prayer day. So they decided to go out in a blaze of glory and just simply refused to be defeated. They took out 12, 13 Holy Nation people on their own and just decided that it wasn't time to give up yet. They knew they had to keep fighting, so they went on a recruitment spree as fast as they could, and we've been fighting off the Holy Nation ever since. We have yet to have them break into the base ever since the first time, when it was just Hot Longs and Soto. The Holy Nation was able to get in. They were just still able to take them down. But now, they can't even get past our turret guards. So we're out here training so we can go take the fight to them and put an end to it once and for all. Right now, we're paying tribute to the Shek, but we're hoping that if we defeat the Holy Nation and we decide to actually ally with them, they'll quit doing that. And if they don't, we're going to basically tell them we're not paying tribute anymore and fight them back just like we do the Holy Nation. here you can even see how effective the crossbows are against beak things. They're not going to stun them like it will humans, but they take their toll really quickly. And it definitely helps that we have such a large group. And fighting large numbers of beak things is a different situation. But, ooh, we don't need that yellow meat. Yucky. I said yucky. But we don't want this nasty raw meat. We'll get rid of that. We want the regular raw meat so that we can cook that and stay out here without having to go buy supplies. But one of the biggest benefits of crossbows is if you outnumber someone, you're going to get to use all of those crossbows at once. Whereas in default Kenshi, without any combat mods, which is what we're doing, you can only attack someone one at a time pretty much. They'll kind of gang up on them, but they still have to really take turns fighting someone. They don't get to all attack at once like they do with the 5 attack slot mod, where you've got 5 people attacking at once. And keep in mind, we're taking down these beak things. This is on normal play speed. This is our normal attack and reload speed without it being sped up at all. I'm hoping I've figured out where all that baseline noise is coming from, and hopefully we'll see a reduction in that extra noise that was happening before. But yeah, taking out beak things hasn't proven to be very difficult. Just because we get to bring all of our crossbows to bear, especially if we focus fire like that, you can choose to have your guys all fire at the same beak thing. It's pretty easy to take them out. We are going to go ahead and ditch the skins. We're not going to need to trade for money. There's so much meat that they drop. We'll just cook that up. We're not worried about making money. Our base is really self-sufficient. And we have the means to make a lot of money if we want to. We can sell armor and weapons, crossbows, or we can even just sell the hash that we had built up that we were going to sell. But we decided to craft our own armor, and it's been much better. Honestly, it's highly preferable to standing at the store and waiting, hoping that they spawn the right stuff. So it's been great just crafting our own stuff. We got the acid and fire immunity. We could set up a base out in the middle of Venge where the fire lasers come out, and they'll just do nothing to us. I'm not sure how it would work out if it damages the buildings, though, so that could be interesting to find out. We'll probably do that when we fight the United Cities, is try to set up further east. Build another base. Who are they fighting? Oh, they were looking at fighting the beak thing. But yeah, we're just gonna focus on taking the meat from these things. We're not gonna bother hunting Garu. They'd probably be good combat experience too, but we're really just here to remove the pests. We're not necessarily just attacking everything blindly. The beak things attack the local settled nomads, they attack us, and the bandits obviously are just thieves and murderers, so we want to get them kicked out of here as soon as possible. I think I'd like to set up a base in each region, but we just don't have the people for it. So if we do move bases, it'll probably be more of a permanent move, where we may leave the old base standing, but will primarily be at a different location. We're running low on bandits to fight. We may travel on somewhere else. I'm not even seeing lights or camps set up. Normally we'd be able to tell pretty far away that there was someone set up. Like there. There's somebody. Oh, but see, those are that's just a nomad. It looks like we'll need to keep traveling if we want to find ourselves some more combat. We could go... I just don't want to get into fights that are going to risk getting people killed again just yet. They're not ready for that. If you look at these guys' stats, they're very low for their attack and defense. They're not ready for anything crazy. I don't necessarily want to take them against a bunch of robots out in Venge. Spiders? Where? Oh, these aren't a big deal, guys. I don't know why they're freaking out. These things aren't a big deal for us. I wonder what they're going after. They're off to fight something. Oh, there's one bandit charging at us, maybe. I was gonna say, what's wrong with these three? Looks like this might have been a bandit setup, but there's not very many of them left. There's a bunch of dust bandits. We can go fight them, and we'll give you the full cinematic speed here. And I know I'm leaving these guys all balled up. That might seem weird to you, but because they're wearing heavy armor and using toothpicks, they barely do any damage to each other, so it just makes it less annoying to micro them. And then on top of that, every time they hit each other, they're training themselves really well not to hit each other in the future. So it's really just, you know, taking 4 damage here and there, barely getting scratched, just to train up that skill that'll get them to where they don't really shoot each other anymore. Get everybody patched up. We'll go looking for some more bandits to fight. Oh, we almost ran past a whole bunch of them. So one of the things I wanted to check, the reload time, at least the minimum speed, is heavily affected by the quality of the crossbow. So we may keep working on crafting them until we do have masterwork everything for everyone. We're just really focused on training right now. We don't want to rely entirely on our equipment because we saw how quickly that can lead to failure. When you just assume good equipment is going to be enough, you really have to make sure everyone in your fighting squad is actually a fighter. And we want the full 30 people able to fight, so we're training everybody up. Shit Kingdom's gonna stop by. I just don't want to miss that and start a war with them. Ideally, we'd like to ally with them. Get them to stop asking us for tribute in the first place. I wonder if the Tower of Ninjas has respawned any kind of enemies. I bet they haven't. It's always funny when you go looking for trouble, it's relatively hard to find, but anytime you're trying to stay out of a fight, it's everywhere. See, I'm not really seeing the difference in dexterity. I feel like our crossbows are just as effective. I'm sure that's not the case. There's probably some decrease in effectiveness, but we're not really feeling it. We're still having a lot of great performance out of using our crossbows. We're basically going to fight until we've worn out our toothpicks, and then we'll switch over to just using melee and train up our melee skills. We just want everyone attacking anyone who's reasonable. We don't want them just focusing on one guy right now. We don't need to. It's pretty crazy how effective using a bunch of crossbows can really be when you have the heavy armor to not worry about having to micromanage them. It does take a lot of resource and time to produce up the ammunition for this number of people, though. If we were to bring the whole squad out, we'd run our stores low pretty quickly. But it's the kind of thing you can keep up with, for sure. Especially once we have everyone in full masterwork armor with masterwork crossbows. We'll be looking at just producing ammo will be the only metal that we need to produce out of all of the ore we're mining, so it won't be that difficult to keep up with. We don't have any reason to try and acquire a ton of money. We basically have all the food and weapons and ammunition we could ever need. We don't have any need for money per se. We can go and dig materials out of the ground and build almost anywhere. The tower's not destroyed, which is interesting. Oh my, there are a lot of them in here. The guys we captured are back. We haven't imported. They shouldn't be here. How did they get back here? We haven't imported none of that. That's interesting. Let's get out of there and go fight out in the open. And we'll hold position. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I'm almost certain we had taken out these guys and their leader. No, I know we had. Because this May 2 weapon was ours. Something funky's going on. I don't know. We haven't we may have imported our game, but we didn't do any kind of reset. If we did, it was trying to fix the base when we couldn't get turrets to work because I was too silly to realize you can't use a turret while marked passive. This is going to give us a lot of experience. These guys are no pushover, and the numbers they have is obnoxious. We are starting to see, though, us getting to use our crossbows and seeing that make a difference. Well, I don't know what happened that we actually have enemies to fight here. I'm a little confused about it, but we'll take it. Kidnap these guys again. Collect their weapons. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that the person we put that May 2 weapon on died. And it despawned somehow? I'm not sure. So we'll make sure everyone's on medic. Make sure everyone's set to splint injuries. Who's carrying? Oh yeah, obviously. Hot longs, and then we'll have Moo pick up that one. We'll take ourselves off range so we're not damaging each other at all as we're getting kind of low. I'll have Moo and Hot Long stay out of it so they don't drop. Whoa. Did we drop him? Hot Longs, pick him up. You pick up Spade. I guess we'll take our bounty back home. We should probably check the Dust Bandit tower too. That's kind of crazy that we're still seeing Dust Bandit attacks on our base when he should already be turned into them, if I remember right. That's so weird. No, I know we took out the Tower of Ninjas because it's marked red. So that's weird. I wonder if you lose the May 2 weapon, or maybe if enough time goes by, they'll respawn. That would be strange. We also didn't kill them. We did turn them in alive, so maybe there's something to do with that. But we'll get headed home and see if the Sheik will pay us for this, and maybe get our standing with them even higher. Just doing typical Kenshi things, I guess. Let's see where we're at on stats here. Toughness is coming up to double digits, which is good. Our melee attack came up a lot from that last fight, especially our melee defense. Our melee defense goes up when either you're blocking attacks, but also when you get hit, when you fail to block an attack. And we failed to block a lot of attacks from those guys. There were so many of them, and they've actually got pretty good sword skills and really fast attacks. So we took a lot of hits from those guys. That's why everyone's pretty beat up. Shrike's legs got torn to shreds. We'll just head straight to Squin. Get these guys turned in. Looks like we got a little Dust Bandit skirmish before we get back. See how much of this we can take at range. Can't have that guy having the high ground on us, no way. We'll come up here. I know from zoomed out with everyone, you know, grouped up like that, it can just seem like a lot of numbers flying. So I try to zoom in sometimes, give you a good idea of what's going on. We also can spread them out a little bit as we go further into the game and just take the time to micro them a little bit. Have them follow Crumble John. Well, Shrike's the one that's got the slowest speed, I bet. So we'll have them all follow Shrike. But this will kind of spread them out a little bit, because we want them all moving at the same speed anyway. And this will give you a better view of what's going on when we fight people. Let's make sure we didn't lose anyone. Awesome. Return for tribute is on the way to our outpost DD. I don't know why it says DD every time. Oh, we don't see any bandit bases or camps on the way so far. A lot of times up here at the front of the hub you will see it though. And we might see some on the way to Squin. This little trek back to turn in our bounties we caught is going to give us time to heal just walking on the way. But it does look like we're wearing through our food stores. We'll have Soto go talk to these guys. And we'll put her on repairing the door. We always let them just take whatever they think we owe. For now, we are set up in their lands, and we don't really mind letting them have some food, but again, we're hoping that when we're formal allies, that won't be a thing anymore. Looks like everybody's staying fed, but we're going to cook food soon, just to make sure it stays that way. I think we have to talk to them with the right person. Hot longs. Oh, these guys have a bounty with the United Cities. They do not have a bounty here. Interesting. Yeah, show them the gear. That's probably why they respawned. We probably left them alone when we realized we couldn't make any money off of them. That explains that. That explains that. We could travel to the United Cities. That's a long way to go for 40,000 cats. And it's going to be very dangerous getting there. I guess technically going through the Deadlands isn't that bad when you're immune to the acid. Why not? Hot Longs is going to want them to get some experience, and it's not like we're going to be fighting something like the Bugmaster's bugs. It's not the same. Whoa, 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 whoa. Guys, chill. I don't know what was going on there, where you were going. We're staying right here. Okay, we've got to get away from here. Just because we're too close and we're trying to, like, go dump stuff off at our house that we had in Squen. What do they have for upcoming? All we have is the Shek tribute. We don't even have trouble with the Holy Nation. They've given up on attacking us, it looks like. We did take one of their leaders and turn them into the Shek. Maybe we want to look at doing that again before we head to Blister Hill. I know that they're not like the United Cities. The United Cities you can kind of pick apart piece by piece, capturing the slave leaders, and it will make the main cities a lot weaker and malnourished, which is a really great way to overcome the big number disparity. But the Holy Nation doesn't have that. If you go knock out all the mines and farms and military bases, it doesn't have a big impact on the rest of the Holy Nation. It just makes them attack you. And I think that's supposed to represent that their land is just so fertile, they can grow food wherever. Their slaves are doing labor, they're not making the food. The food's made by farmers, so they always have people to make food, I would guess. Whereas in the UC, I think they're probably just importing food after using the slaves for money. They're a very money-based society rather than having that agriculture themselves. Actually, I think I didn't need to set real jobs for this. I think I just needed to turn jobs on and they would have turned food into the fire. Need to remember that so that I don't have to go through and delete all these. Looks like some hungry bandits showed up. They smelled us grilling. Will you guys get out of the way, please? You're being obnoxious. Some of these guys are getting hungry. do need to make sure I'm mostly putting this food on people with backpacks. That way it gets shared out with everybody. Do some desert fire prevention right quick. I also wonder if having all of those built all over the planet would cause problems, so... Or built all over the moon, I should say. It's pretty crazy how beautiful the night sky is in this game. It can be kind of difficult to get a good shot at it, especially down here in the swamps and stuff, but really pretty background when you look up, if you can see through the fog. There's some beak things we can have some combat with while I remember how to talk. We'll focus them down, take care of them one at a time. That one didn't even get to attack us. Once you've got the heavy armor to deal with these things, they're not nearly as terrifying. We'll keep heading east. I do want to... We're going to avoid going through Venge. I'd rather head through the top part of Flats Lagoon. We don't want to fight armies of fairly powerful robots with these guys. If we look, their melee attack just isn't very high for the most part. And part of that's because we're focused on our crossbow training right now, but it still is what it is. We're on a hill here, so we actually don't want to fight at the bottom of it if we don't have to. That's still going to negatively impact our crossbow ability and make it to where, with crossbows like these, we'll just miss. We will just miss. Let's go again following Shrike. I think we still want to spread out a little bit so we can see the fights as they happen. We skipped that one just to keep moving, but we'll do some more cinematic fights. I really enjoy the fighting in Kenshi. The melee stuff's a little better, and when we do a modded playthrough, I haven't used any of the different combat animation mods. They're inevitably going to change the balance of how weapons work in the game, so that would be a problem, but it could be very interesting. So this is going to be something cool to see. We're going to walk through these lasers, and they're not going to do any damage to us. Let's see if we can find it. Because the status immunities, like acid, gas, burning, those are all things that add up. It's not just your head that's got less damage coming. Well, here we are on the edge. Looks like we're going to get that robot fight whether I like it or not. We'll have to see how we do, I guess. We do outnumber this group, so that's good. I do want to see these guys break off and come to higher ground. Batai, get out of the low ground. And now you can kind of see a little more up close what we're doing here. We're fighting these crazy headless robots with these barbaric spiked maces and these hacking swords. Infinite Wing Wang putting the slices to him. Well, it looks like we didn't really have a problem there. Maybe I was a little worried for nothing. We got one lone robot coming to fight us. Let's see how this goes for him. Yep, that didn't pan out, did it? Hot Longs, Logan, what are you doing? You guys really want that fight, huh? I don't know why they were so bent on pushing over there and fighting that far back into Shem, but it looks like we're able to fight these robots pretty well. This will be a great place to get experience if that's the case. And it'll be really cool to show you how crab armor has so many different uses and really allows you to properly go and explore the world in ways that other armor wouldn't. Let's make sure we're on our characters while we watch this. We're dodging lasers by accident. They should come this way eventually. They keep blasting all around us instead of down on top of us. Oh, we definitely aren't going to let any spiders live. That's not happening. We see spiders, we kill them on sight. We also could pick out a base location out here just to see if it's something we want to do. Maybe that's something we want to look at, is having a forward base somewhere more dangerous so that we can train up our guys better. It would be really good to see if we could find a location out here where any major faction attacking us would get absolutely hosed by the lasers. Where's the leader? One of them's gonna be the leader. We just want to attack him. There we go. Let's get everybody spread out. We'll run down here. And we'll spread everyone out a little bit and get a good view of what's going on. Do just a little bit of micro, nothing crazy. But spread everyone out a little bit. Moo, why are you so hungry? You need to eat food. Who's got food? Give Moo some food. And they'll just scatter with where I told them to go. Yeah, we're really not having much trouble with these robots. So we'll keep taking these fights and getting stronger. We'll fight the blood spiders first. Skinner, are you already out of ammo? Yeah, we're starting to run people out of ammo, which is good. That means we've been out here a while. We're going to start improving on our melee more. Skinner, get up there with the group. As we push further in here, we're starting to wear through our supplies on ammo. Starting to see more of us get into melee fights. But right now we do still have enough ammo, it looks like, to keep maintaining that advantage. Let's attack all. Doesn't look like we're sustaining much damage from these guys. They don't seem to have enough numbers to be a huge threat. Let's zoom in on Hot Long and watch her fight. Following one character and letting the camera naturally pursue them seems to be a great way to watch them fight. She's just going at it one-handed. There do seem to be a lot of these guys this time. But they are just weak thralls. You do see the advantage of the heavy weapons, though, kind of similar to the crossbow, where the crossbow lets you outnumber people and focus them down, but the heavy weapons let you overcome being outnumbered better. Let's get everybody together and healed up. We'll go ahead and continue on. We'll head up straight for the United Cities. We didn't really get to see it, but if the lasers do come down on us, they're not going to do any damage, so it makes traveling to different places in the map a lot easier. This is a pretty big group of them. We'll just spread out this way up here. These guys are too far back. We'll just set them to attack all. We'll follow Spade this time. See how Spade's coming along with his training. Actually, that's a girl. That's one of our crafters. Don't let me forget. Ooh, we did see somebody go down. Overall, we still look good, though. We're just going to need to head up there to that way station and get some rest. Hot longs do you still have? Your person, moo, yep, okay. We've still got the bounties we want to turn in. We actually probably won't take a rest stop at the way station. We'll probably head straight up to hang. Just because we want to get these guys turned in. That is kind of the reason we came here. But we're also going to find a lot of people to fight out here. We won't have the good meat from the beak things. I don't think skimmers drop meat that's edible. So we'll have to keep an eye on our food supply. But we've got a decent chunk of change. And we'll have more once we turn these guys in. As we're pushing on through here, let's make sure everything's good at home, nobody's starving. Yeah, it looks like making these 2 towers so that we can shoot people stuck on the perimeter wall and get fully out of combat has made a big difference. We're still loaded up on food. And these are the food barrels that are farthest from our food production. So if they still have a lot of food, we have tons left. Some old machinery over there. See, out in the desert, we get a better view of the night sky and the planets and stars, the distant sun. There are a lot more stars that are close by to Kenshi. They're a lot brighter and a lot larger. Apparently Kenshi's a moon, though. I think that's the planet we're rotating around, but Kenshi's apparently a moon, not a planet, which is interesting. Because it has all of this life, but I don't think it has a core and some of the things you would need to consider it a planet. But it does have an atmosphere. There's some mercenaries. We just want to get to hang and be able to pass these guys off. Luckily, we're not poor. We're not, actually destitute on money, so they shouldn't give us too much grief for existing. Is there a bounty on this one? They don't have bounties? It showed me that they had bounties. I'm so confused. Was it the Holy Nation? Now I don't understand. I thought we came all the way out here to turn these guys in. Oh well. we'll ditch them and look for trouble, I guess. See if there's any bandits out here that need taken out. What? We haven't committed a crime. Why are they attacking us? Okay, let's get out of here. I don't know what their problem is, but we're not trying to fight the United Cities right now. Everybody group up. We're also not leaving anyone behind. Luckily, we horrendously outnumber this guy, or we would have been in a world of trouble. We are gonna steal their stuff, though. If they wanna be jerks and attack us, they get what they get. We'll steal their chainmail. You don't even have chainmail, you bum. But it's time to get out of here. I wonder if we accidentally attacked the guard not paying attention, because that was kind of wild. We were able to take out a pretty strong samurai in really good armor, but, you know, in a... How many do we have here? A 19 versus 2? That's not exactly anything to get excited about. But we'll push back to more familiar territory. Fight the creatures and people we're used to, not run the risk of getting attacked full on by the United Cities. Not yet, anyway. Hotlong's gonna take it pretty personal that out of nowhere they just started attacking us. From our perspective, we didn't see us do anything wrong. I'm not aware of anybody we attacked or hurt. If they're mad that we had those ninjas kidnapped, that just wouldn't make sense. And Hotlongs would definitely hold that against them. Hopefully these wolves will give us some good experience too. Let's see what stats are looking like. Toughness is coming up. Melee attack is still pretty low. We need to get into more melee fights soon. It looks like a lot of us are out of ammo. It's just running the last few out. Looks like we found some bandits from out here to clean up. I'm really tempted to go investigate those towers, but we're still pretty untrained. You know, when we look at the other team and we look at their stats, they're in the 30s for attack, and I think that's where we want to be before we try anything serious. And I think not only that, we want to have the full squad for a fight like that. We'll go attack some more pirates. Logan's hitting him with that point blank crossbow. So you can see Stubbs and Moose kind of attacking the guy together, but they basically wait for the other one's attack to at least be mostly done before they move in. Got more pirates. Looks like just about everybody's out of ammo. Maybe Hot Longs has some. But that's it. Oh, Logan, did I miss that you had ammo? Logan has a little bit. We've still got a little bit of ammunition left, but not much. It won't be long before we're down to just melee. Get everybody patched up. We'll keep heading down to Shim. Although it does seem like we're finding a ton of grass pirates in the eye. Slaver Caravan Guard. These guys are going to be tough, but I definitely think we can take them, and we hate the slavers. Because these are Holy Nation slavers on top of all that. These guys also have better stats than most of us, so we're gonna get way more XP from fighting them. And Moo's gonna get toughness from getting knocked down and getting up. Make no mistake though, this isn't a fight we want to lose. We have no interest in having our people get enslaved. This will probably be the last fight we take until we can get some rest. We'll head to that way station and take a break. Yeah, it looks like we got a few people who are pretty beat up. Shooting at guys. Oh, those guys over there. We do not tolerate bandits. Oh no, guys, I don't think so. I don't know what made you guys think you guys were leaving here alive, but you're mistaken. Alright, we don't have time to make sure they die. We're gonna go make sure that we don't lose anybody. We're gonna go get some healing, pick up some extra food. Actually, it looks like we've got some food here. guys. Smugglers, gray flares. We're not worried about them. Looks like we've got a few beds we can take up. We're not even gonna bother with anybody who's higher than 50. Or maybe if they're not close to it, 50s. Still pretty bad. We're not really worried about a materials trader coming to our outpost. We just want to make sure we don't miss the tribute. What's the mechanical shop have for sale? Some books. Nothing fancy. Looks like everybody's pretty well healed up. We don't want to be the ones getting shot by those turrets. We're gonna get out of here. Head back to Shim. I think we could honestly head to Vane and start... Well, we don't have our crossbows. Big things are a lot tougher without crossbows, so we'll hold off on that. We'll go to Shim and deal with the big things we find. See there, we run right through the laser and have no issues. It's the best thing. Because that'll blast your people to about half health sometimes. It's crazy how bad those can hurt. I honestly think we could just hang out here and get into combat, fight it out. Yeah, this is a good open spot to just stick it out for a little bit and get into some fights. Well, it doesn't look like we're getting very much action here. Let's see it. Well, if I'd stop missing them as they go by. I still want to make sure we stay stocked up on food, though, and Shem's a great place to train while still having animals we can butcher. Are we near... We also could go... Well, again, we don't have crossbows, so I don't know how difficult things are going to be without our crossbows. I'm a little concerned that if we're fighting beak thing after beak thing after beak thing, we're going to get eaten. In Shem, we're not going to run into them in those larger numbers. It wouldn't be a terrible idea to go back and stock up on crossbow bolts just so we have the option to use that advantage, but right now we do want to focus on leveling our melee skills. No, let's not go for a swim, guys. Let's travel across the map somewhat efficiently. Is that the same settled nomads camp? It is. We're looking for bandit camps. What do we have here? Nomads. We're not trying to start a fight with them nomads. They're pretty peaceful, good people. We can get rid of some blood spiders for them, though. Honestly, every time I come out here looking for a fight, I can hardly find any, but when I want to come through here just to do a trade route, we will get attacked constantly. So we want these beak things to come to us. We don't want to go fighting them near the water, get knocked into the water and be helpless. Anybody have a crossbow bolt? I don't think we do. We'll go over here. We'll head them off. Let them come to us. So it doesn't look like they're doing a ton of damage to us. We're not taking severe beatings from these guys, so that's good. Scratch, why are you always hungry? Why don't you ever eat? Okay, let's forage animals. Why aren't you guys doing that? Oh, because you don't have storage. Will you forage the food if we do this? Scratch, you need some grub. Come on, Lou. Why are you being like this? I'm trying to make sure that my audio is still good and you can hear me because I know I've been quiet in some of these. But I'm also trying to avoid picking up that fan noise that we're seeing. Don't tell me. Okay, we did not miss return for tribute. Whew, that would have been terrible. I really don't want to start a fight with the Sheks. That's not what we want. Are any of the turret guards going hungry? No, they're for the most part just taking care of business. We need a place that's just lousy with enemies. But I don't want to go to the Foglands with untrained people yet. We could go with our full squad once everybody's melee attack is in the 30s. But I don't want to go there until then. That's so dangerous because they eat people. You know, it's not one or two beak things. It's 70, 80 fogmen, and one of them can grab one of your dudes and just take off. And then you're trying to run a rescue mission that has every chance to just fail. Oh boy, what are these guys doing? Okay, so we're having trouble hitting those. I guess they couldn't figure out how to get here, but we're not blocking the road. I've turned on the nav mesh. We're not blocking off the road. They should be able to get over here, and they're just not pathing to us correctly. While we're not about wasting animal meat, I do think if we run into bulls and Garu, we are going to fight them for the very effective experience, but also for the meat that we can get from them. like that, setting them up to just forage the animals on themselves. Like on their own, on themselves. Go ahead and forage the animals themselves, and then I can just pick up the food. We'll wrap those guys up pretty quick. We gotta keep an eye on that tribute and make sure when it pops again, we go back to give them what they're owed. At least till we're ready to attack the Holy Nation and take the Phoenix. I do think we should attack some mines and some bases just to feel it out before we go to the more dangerous areas, because Blister Hill has, I don't even know how many paladins. Will it tell me? But there's so many people there. 294 residents max, 233 that are there. Almost all of those are fighting men of at least like 20 to 30 attack and defense. They're not useless nobodies. We do have the option of going to Vane and Shim and looking for animals. It seems like big things aren't really a big deal, and we could make some money in the process. It wouldn't be the worst thing, because we do want to buy more backpacks for our people. Eventually we want everybody leaving to have a backpack. And this is here, I think that we'll be okay fighting these, but the bulls can do a lot of damage, so we'll be paying attention to how this fight goes. It does look like they're able to hurt us pretty badly. It does seem like overall we're not having too much trouble, but we do have some pretty good wounds. We could hit the way station, rest up, and then head to Vane. But this is also a good area to find bandits normally. I think there's probably a bandit camp right there. Probably need a separate campfire. Attacking those bulls did let us stock up on a ton of food, which is nice. What else has a backpack? No, stop that. I don't want to change people. I just want to pick up all the food. They must have scavenged a ton of meat. I'm coming up with plenty of food. Love to see it. that's a great way when you're out and about fighting. You just set, if you hold shift, right click an animal, and pick loot, you'll actually tell them to forage them. If I was to put down a skin barrel, they would take all of their skin parts. I'm not sure if there's anything I could put down where they'd grab the horns so that we could sell them, but you are able to forage them for meat. If I did bring a building material with me, that would even make it better. They'll cook the meat and then move it to the food storage, and then it can just completely automate, which is nice. But then you got to carry the building material with you. You've got to redistribute the food afterwards after turning their jobs off. It's not that bad just setting up a few campfires and rotating through them to pick up the food. It also looks like we're healing pretty quickly, but Benji's leg is torn up. We'd really like to... He seems to be moving okay though. He's moving really good. We see a bandit camp on the map though. We don't want to turn that down. Not a very big one, but it's enough people to fight. Let's follow Bombingham. He's getting there. I know we've got these big fancy crossbows, and it's kind of weird to not be good, but we want to be good at melee as well. We're going to be in situations where we're outnumbered. How quickly we can cut them down and get a numbers advantage back is going to let us leverage the crossbows and finish off the stronger opponents. Back in my day, we didn't have med kits. That's great. That's great. We crawled uphill both ways, no legs. Wow, looks like there's even more bandits over here. Take that. Benji, he's going in on his own already. He wants to fight. Is this why your legs are going? Trying to take 2v1s? That scratch has your back. It'll be interesting again as modded playthroughs, seeing how one, have bigger numbers, but also when we outnumber them, it'll really count for something. Because you'll see 5 people attacking at the exact same time, and it's extremely difficult to defend against. Right now, being outnumbered isn't as bad, but it'll become the most important factor is having numbers. Which is more realistic and makes more sense. So I think it does add something to the combat. But you do get these crazy, like, action movie sequences when you don't have those mods. Because you'll have this one guy take on 30 people, and it's a lot more possible without mods. I think the reason the combat works this way, though, is because, by default, Kenshi limits you to 30 people. And I think that Chris knew that that was going to put you at a pretty big disadvantage if every fight you went into you were outnumbered against major factions, and they could just 5v1 you over and over. It definitely does make attacking major factions much more difficult, let alone being a solo character. Let's go see if the Dust King Tower has anybody added anymore. Kind of curious now. Yeah, our melee attacks are coming up nicely. They're still in the 20s though for most of them. We even have one at 19. That's not what we want. We want a lot better than that. The Dust Bandit Tower isn't in shambles. And he's there. I'll be darned. Huh. Oh, well, no. I don't see the Dust King anywhere. Normally he's outside. Maybe they eventually rebuild? It does say barracks, not Dust King Tower. Oh no, it does. Dust King Tower. I guess there's only one way to find out if he's in there, right guys? Let's go strategery here and take out the turret guys first. What? Open the door. Get up and wipe out those turret guys first. We'll follow Hot. She's our first fighter. Is the Dust King here anywhere? It sure doesn't look like it. I think it's just a bunch of Dust Bandits. Let's regroup and not get stuck on ladders and stuff. Their harpoons aren't going to do anything to us anyway. They've got junky harpoons. They don't even have harpoons, they're crossbows. Well, these guys weren't much trouble. Is he in here? Where are you at, Dust King? I think we did turn in. Yeah, there's no one in the prison, I guess, because a lot of times when you defeat the Dust King, this place will be destroyed. Maybe it doesn't do that without mods, and they just kind of rebuild. I do have to remember that Reactive World changes a lot. It really might not do what I think it does to take that guy out. Who was it? Benji? Yeah, you're healing nicely. We can keep roaming around. We got lots of food. Don't want to attack the mines with my wheat. We'll head to Vane. We'll see if... No, don't leave Spade behind. Least of all, don't leave Spade behind. Don't ever leave our armorsmith behind. That's a terrible plan. When is that tribute coming? Okay, they're on the way. They might be there already. Yep. We don't want to miss that and have them getting ticked off. It's always good to check back in and see if they're ready. someone... Yeah, that's a bandit trying to attack us. Was it a... Looks like a few of them just kind of patrolling. Let's attack all. And we're just kind of speeding these up because we really want to get the training portion here done. And I'd like to get us switched over to patrolling around with full groups. And see what we can do against the Holy Nation. We're still in the 20s for a lot of these guys. We've got a lot of training to do. We need those large piles of hungry bandits. They let us just kind of wail on them. And I'm hoping that's what fighting a bunch of the animals is going to do for us too. That's kind of why I'm thinking of heading to Vane and see how that goes. It does look like we got another big bandit camp over there. And a fight over here. I know we're kind of speeding through these, but kind of want to just grind the numbers out, get them through a few good fights. We'll watch this play out. It's a decent number of bandits. See hot longs in action. Doing the double shot. Damage. That guy's already running. Charging in to get the rest of them. The only problem with these is that having near infinite tide of enemies is that they're usually enemies that Let's see if we can go find a few meek thing nests and take their eggs, make some quick cash, and buy us some backpacks. We're gonna have to do the trudge of looking for backpacks eventually. And we may just have people use the traders' backpacks. They give a bigger penalty to stats, but they will let us carry more food. So there are upsides to it. We are going to attack the Garu because we're going to want the meat. Looks like we picked up a serious amount of food. It's nice to be able to just scavenge these guys. That's why I like staying out of the UC. There's not even a lot of animals you can scavenge for food. We probably would run into some bone wolves, but for the most part it's skimmers. make sure that we're not getting too many of them at once and getting injured worse than we really intend to. We're going to turn their jobs off. Right now, we just want to grab their eggs. Who can grab the eggs? Somebody's got to have room, right? The banded demand's stuck again. Where are they? They are. I want you two shooting at these guys. It's so strange that they're struggling to navigate to our base. I guess we bait them with the door. That seems pretty practical. That usually does it. That's usually what gets them unstuck. Looks like the expedition's under attack. Ideally, we'd like to find some nests with a decent amount of eggs. We're starting to see people get pretty hurt, though. So we'll look for like one nest and then we'll head back to get some rest. We haven't taken as many real rests this time with this group of people, and I don't want it to cost us anybody. See, those nests don't even have any eggs, and we've already got someone down. We're gonna head out. We'll head back to the hub and use the shinobi thieves in the hub to rest up. Just want to make sure our wounds don't go unattended. It looks like we cleared out a lot of the eggs from the nests at some point before with beep, which is fine. If we really want to make money, we'll take, a trip to Flats Lagoon. Walk around with spare armor. We should be able to rest up for free and check if they have backpacks over here. did score another backpack. About getting everybody rested up. Who's hurt the worst in the important body parts? Let's see. We've got everybody resting. You know what we could look at is making a larger barracks back home. Or at least organizing this one better. Soto, what are you doing? Why aren't you turret guarding? I want to move the medical storage out of the way. And make some more beds. We have the fabric and the building materials, we may as well. Going on with our pathing. We're gonna do a save. Just a quick save and reload, because she's not doing her jobs. There you go. Maybe there was something where she was just glitched on trying to do that engineering job. That seemed to fix it. We are running low on these. Maybe we should look at producing these as well. Interior beds. There's a guy who makes Kenshi videos about where you're going to settle. I don't want to get his name wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Paul Rod. Rogers. I'm gonna have to watch some of those and figure out which place has like a really big open area with the copper, iron, and stone I need. Because I'd really like to have a bigger base and start to build out, like, I think it would be cool if everyone had their own house. If it wasn't such a function only, like if I were to take more time to make it look nice, and maybe we just rebuild this base in that image, but I don't think we have enough room here to really do what I would want to do. I think I've built over there before, which isn't a terrible spot. But I'd like to find a big open area where I can build an incredible base and everyone kind of has like their own living space. And instead of it just being barracks, we try to build them a small city to live in. I think that'd be a pretty cool goal for base building in the long term. Even if they're just storm houses that they have to themselves. Our stats are coming up nicely now. It does look like fighting animals is a great way to do it. I know Frankie was here, who said if I could get to the Howler Maze, where is it? Here. This is actually an excellent place to train because the crab pups get as much XP as fighting a full-on crab adult. We have for faction, return for tribute. I guess that's the Dust Bandit raid, maybe, running away. But maybe we'll take everybody to the Howler Maze, or once we're all in the 30s, I honestly think we could go to the Fog Islands and just clear out the Fogmen. But fighting animals is a great way to get your attack up because they just don't block. All they do is attack and then get hit. Yeah, see, we keep finding these nests, but they don't have any eggs. That's crazy. It is nice to be able to go into a fight with a bunch of beak things and handle it. Maybe we start harvesting their skin if we have to, but I want money from the eggs. That's just the best money without having to sit there and manually grab it all up. All the skin is what I mean. Split up, guys. You gotta stay out of that water as much as possible. Go ahead and get across the river and head to this unknown object. Why not? Oh, well that's further down into Shek territory. I want to stay in Vane and head down there. I also don't want to walk around not looking at the screen while there's beak things. Because your characters will just keep running if you've told them to run. That's the way the game, you know, helps you make sure your characters are just running for their lives, but we don't want them running and getting slapped around by beak things without retaliating at all. do know along the coast we're going to find a lot of stuff too. The further west we go, the more likely we are to run into different enemies. Here's where we can find a lot of beak thing eggs, but that also means we're going to find a lot of beak things. So we'll make sure we spread out a little bit. But yeah, it looks like we can just kind of wrap up fights with beak things pretty easily. Yeah, I get that you can't pick it up, but somebody can, right? Is everybody's inventory full? Come on now. So it looks like we scooped up most of those. Let's head to Ad Mag. We'll be able to sell those off, buy some backpacks, and keep going from there. I am hearing a wind sound, but that is the game. That's not any noise in the room, so I hope that's how it's coming through. And you guys can hear all of the Kenshi background without it sounding like there's just a band running. Why aren't they staying together? We'll just wait for the shops to open up and we'll sell off some stuff. We are running pretty low on money, which we don't need a ton of, but if we want to have backpacks, we're going to need it. Let's just put the backpacks on people. Let's not mess about. So that is not going to hold nearly as much as, say, this backpack. Is it? No, it's the same size. It just gives a bigger penalty to combat stats, which isn't great, but isn't the end of the world. We'll take what we can get for now. Guys don't happen to have anything special. I wonder what weapons and patterns they might have. We did just make a nice, tidy profit. So those are all armor. That's the general shop. How long are you stuck? You gotta get out of there. They get really mad if you hang out too long. We don't want to take the beak thing eggs in to sell at the Shinobi Tower because they are not going to give us full price for them. They give you half price for everything, stolen or not. while we prefer to get the full-size thief backpack for everybody, it's just going to take a while before we get to that point. It's not worth waiting, in my opinion, and not giving them some kind of backpack. So we're getting there. Our attack stats are coming up nicely, some more than others. I think that until we see 30, though, for everybody, preferably closer to 35, we don't want to consider our training phase done before we go taking on more dangerous areas. We're certainly going to put off the Bugmaster for quite a while. We're going to feel out our strength against the Holy Nation before we ever even consider going after them. And I'm hesitant to completely abandon the base to go do that, but I think we'll want our entire fighting force to go and fight any large faction like that. It does look like our barracks and beds are coming along nicely. Soto's done a good job getting those built. I'm also tempted to train us up on pole arms and see how those feel. I know the crab raiders are very effective with them themselves. Maybe we could have similar success with that. The hive are very difficult to fight with all the pole arms they have. I do know we're running into a lot of blood spiders over here, so we want to hang out around the edge. We don't have our crossbows, so we don't want to lose a bunch of people to this. We're gonna pull back, let them come to us, not take on the whole horde at once. Everybody pull back to here. Guys, come back here and hold position. Maybe that's what we gotta do. Tell them to hold position. Okay, it looks like they weren't scary. I just, with the numbers difference, wanted to be careful. We'll go clear this place out. Somebody had tools, I thought. Maybe not. Are there any tools around here or upstairs? Nope, it sure don't look like it. So we'll have to come back here. That's fine. We're just here for training. So that's going to be the Lost Library we'll want to come back to with some tools. Probably won't bother dealing with lockpicking just because of the way we can use tools to open them up over and over. If you use your tools to almost break open a safe and you finish it off with strength, you don't end up using the tools. So we'll probably just run those over that way. Force our way into them. We also can look at since we are going to have more backpacks, are those regular Garu? We don't need food. We're not gonna fight Garu when we don't need food. We have tons of food. We're only gonna hunt animals like that when we need the food. I'll see what I was saying about running. You can end up running while there's big things chomping on you, just taking free damage for no reason. This is pretty large. Oh, attack, not just one. You never want to try and focus down beating things with melee guys. You want to just let them fight whichever one they can. We are starting to see people go down, so we've got to be aware of that. It's probably a good time to head back across the water and get to safety. We can just ignore the gorilla. Is there anywhere where we're not going to have to walk through the water? Or at least not for any meaningful amount of time? Perfect. And we're actually going to use this chance to head back to our base and rest up. Let's see. Oh, not the inventory, please. Spade is not quite there. I think there's a couple people lagging behind that could do better, but for the most part, we're in the 30s. Some of them are up higher. We can probably head back to base, re-gear. Actually, let's hit Add Mag and Squin. We need medical kits, and we need to look at maybe crafting those ourselves as well. But we need to purchase some medical kits. They've got more backpacks too. Fantastic. So the large backpack has even more room, but even bigger penalty to stats. I don't think we want this small. Well, we'll take what we can get. Backpack's backpack. Okay, they all have one. Still take these home in case somebody doesn't. And then medkits on medkits. Supplies and backpacks, medical supplies and ammo, and food are going to be the three things that we have to actually resupply. So it would be good if we could produce all of that. Scratch, how are you doing, buddy? Are you ready to walk around? Yep. We're going to put you down. Make sure you're getting exercise too. Everybody needs to keep their athletics up. But in almost no time, we've trained everyone up to 70 strength minimum. We've gotten their toughness up much higher, some more than others, but they're in the 30s for the most part. Now it's just going to be a matter of taking everyone out to fight, to test our strength against the Holy Nation, and then when we're back at base, everyone's working towards resupplying our ammunition, improving our armor and weapons if we can, and resupplying our med kits. I don't want to keep having to spend money to buy them, because that means we have to come out here and go back and forth between town, and I just don't want to do that. I have set up a base in Vane that was pretty sweet, along the west coast. Maybe we could look at setting up there, but it puts you so far away from everything. I don't necessarily like that. Let's get everybody in. Turn their jobs on so they dump anything they can. And they're also resting, which is really good. Stick that Meitu Ninja Blade in there for now. And then we'll stick any extra backpacks we have in there. We've got a bunch of junk we can get rid of here. I want to see that all put away. We don't need the cotton for anything. Is there any other garbage in here we don't want? We're not gonna make use of the stealth stuff anymore. We got an excess of sandals. Those can stay there, but the ammo needs to get used. The only thing that stinks is that we can't put everyone into one squad, so we're gonna want to split everyone evenly. Let's call it squad 1 and squad 2. We'll want to keep the crafters and food people in one squad, I think. So in squad 2, we should see our farming guys. No, not squad. Stats, please. Yeah, so he's one of our cooks. So we'll set him to cooking. He's one of our cooks. Stare fast. again, a cook, and Eric. Those are our 4 cooks. Here's one of our farmers. Scratch is another farmer. Let's get that out of the way so I can do this. Logan, you are a laborer. We'll put you on war. Moo, you were a crossbowsmith, but you're not our best crossbowsmith. Double, you weren't really doing anything. Batai was an okay crossbowsmith. Benji was doing farming. Benji, we could have you farm this. Do we even have room? Yeah, we can make more hash. So we will actually have you do the hemp processor last. Inu, you were a crossbowsmith and an armorsmith. We'll probably have you hit the plate beating station. Shrike, we don't necessarily need you crafting more weapons yet. Spade, if you could continue to make more armor though, we would want crab armor. We'll just cancel that. We would want helmet armor. Actually, let's make one thing of leg plates and see what that looks like. Need to make sure I turn off these. I thought I told you to cook. I was gonna say, I thought I told you to, maybe not. I want to make sure I get rid of all of the random jobs that don't need to be there. We'll leave hot longs on foraging. And then Soto, we want you making tons of ammo until your crossbow smithing skills maxed out. It takes iron plates to do that. And it takes, oh, peace, oh my god. Oh my god, everyone's starving. Everybody jobs off. Go eat. Somebody pick up peace. My god. Why, guys? Why? What is the deal here? Peace, get some grub. My goodness. geese almost starved to death. What did I tell you guys? They will find a way to starve to death if you let them. Everybody eat up. My goodness. That would be the most aggravating thing ever. Not only that it's already bad enough that they're so hungry, it's infuriating that they'll die on those frickin' harpoon turrets shooting at stuff. Let's look at the AI. We're gonna turn off shoot first, ask questions later. See if that will keep them from just going into combat. I like them shooting first and asking questions later. It really helps with attacks, but that won't matter if half my team starves to death randomly. It's infuriating. We're trying to be able to leave here soon, guys, and we can't because you guys are just busy not eating. They're still sitting in combat with something. With this dork bandit. Soto, will you go take care of that guy, please? Thank you. So it didn't seem to matter. That wasn't what was getting them in trouble. So we are going to go back to shooting first. Go eat, you goobers. No, everybody go eat. Stop bothering to try and guard. Just go eat. Missing a backpack, we're gonna get you one right quick. do need somebody operating one of these. Logan, what are you? You're just operating the ore drill, apparently putting them in here just because. Weird. I don't want Shrike to be doing that. There's gotta be somebody else. Yeah, Batai, you come here and do that. The Shrike's gonna need to craft at some point. Spade. Oh, yeah. Where are those pants you crafted? So let's take a look at these side by side. One, they're, well, that's specialist. I need specialist grade pants to look at. Okay. Yeah, for one thing, you've been selling yourself short. So, yeah, the blunt resistance, cut, everything's better on the samurai pants. They're worth more money. Yep. Samurai pants it is. These are not worth it. So we're going to want crab helmet, crab armor, samurai leg plates, and repeat cube. And if you run out, you'll go over there. No, not you. Goodness. Can I build a turret up there? I can. Can I build a ramp? You know what? Maybe that's what we do. Maybe it's time to redo these walls. Those look better. I don't know if they'll be better to use, but we'll see. What are you goobers doing? Just come over here. Beautiful. Thank say here, and we'll need a ramp. Whoop. Confirm. I did confirm that. Wall. Not wall, sorry. Ramp. There. I don't want Soto doing that. All of you guys have food on you, so even though you're gooped up trying to shoot something that you can't. What are you guys aiming at? I don't understand what you're aiming at, Mew. Alright, everybody take a break. Let's try this again. No, they're still aiming at something. We'll do a save. Why aren't you building that? You don't have any materials? They're all over the place. Oh, I turned your jobs off. My bad. I haven't given Double anything to do. I still really don't understand what they're aiming at. Stubbs. Really? That guy. hard to deal with the turret gunners that just refuse to pull off of a target like that. Hot longs, come talk to this guy. Give him food maybe 1 or 2 more times. Soto, how is the ammunition making coming? Not too bad. Double, what are you up to? Put stuff away. You know what? Let's have you, like, really put stuff away. While we're here, we can have double just clean up the base a little. We've got junk laying around that shouldn't be. Open the gate. That way he has access to grab whatever he needs to. Well, come up here if you got to. Come on, man. Grab this stuff. No, grab it all, please. Oh, you little rat. Come on. We'll turn off your jobs. There we go. It wasn't the door, it was just you being a dill hole. Really, we're just kind of letting everyone craft and rest up and eat, since some of these goobers decided to go on a diet while we were gone. And then I think it's time to head out while we have time. We got 5 days before the Czech Kingdom will come back, expecting tribute. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Get back to work, everybody. That's... sorry, guys. Sorry. Giving them very bad orders. But I'm kind of tired of trying to take screenshots to put together something cool so that I have my picture for the day, and I just can't get it going because there's just looks bad. So we're gonna get this place cleaned up a little bit. I think that's pretty much everything that was tossed on the ground outside. Looks like there's a little bit up here. Turn everybody's jobs off. Squad 2, Squad 1. We'll have Squad 1 in here, Squad 2 in here. And let's go through. Oh, people are getting trapped. Those beds might be too close together. Take 8 rounds each. Not 9, 8. And the reason we turn their jobs off is so that we can actually get them to hold on to their food and not ditch it. If we don't do that, they'll ditch all of their food that we give them. Spade. You don't need to. Ooh. We'll swap you in some masterwork right quick since we're here. Go put that away wherever you can. We're not gonna carry around junk, but we're also not. Oh boy. We're going to put stuff away. We're not gonna carry junk around, but we're also not gonna drop it on the ground and just leave it like I was before. And just got done cleaning this place up. Are you armed? Okay. Benji, come back. Get your bullets. This is just another reason why it's actually really great to have people who are working separate from people who are fighting. You just don't get to do that with base Kenshi. See how I geared everyone up and I've only got one of these still full. So we've got to make sure we keep up on building those. We're going to leave everyone's jobs in place. I've got hot longs to forage animals. We're going to set everyone to ranged. And we'll go head up to these holy mines. And we'll give ourselves a shot, see how it feels. Are we missing anybody? No, we got everybody. So this is us pushing out 30 strong. Ready to fight with all of our equipment, all of our crossbow bolts. We're gonna go start more shenanigans with the Holy Nation. I don't know if it's even worth it to waste resources on attacking the mine, but at the same time, it's definitely going to allow us to get a rough estimation of how we do in combat against these guys. And if it goes super well, like it's just a joke, we'll push on to Bad Teeth. We can get everyone following hot longs, they just won't be in formation. Squad. We'll have them follow Soto. Soto follow hot longs. And that should have the result we're looking for here. Agents of Darkness, huh? And we'll set ourselves to hold. You guys aren't gonna take shit from me, you're crazy. Did I not tell everyone to hold? I did not. We can have 2 firing lines here, that's not a problem. Take them off hold, take them off ranged. Put them back on ranged as they reacquire targets. And it looks like we've already wiped this mine out, which is kind of crazy to think. Did we even sustain any meaningful injuries? It doesn't look like it. Oh, but we didn't pack up food. That's what we forgot to grab. That was silly. Let's head back, grab grub, and then we will... It's actually 11. It's time to wrap up the stream, sadly. It looks like, though, we're absolutely going to be able to make a push on the Holy Nation. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem at all. Setting up some firing lines is probably going to be our best bet. just to not waste ammunition and time. We'll have everybody follow Soto. Everybody follows Hot Longs. And then Hot Longs follow Soto as well. And we will head on back. So this will give us some rough firing lines at least whenever we go out there to fight. That way I don't have to micro it so much, but when we go to attack a major town, I'll probably just put everyone in a good position. This is a good time to wrap up the stream though. It's 11 o'clock. That's typically when I do that. Oh goodness. Let's get everyone together, make sure we didn't lose anybody. We'll go back, grab some food, and then when we come back this afternoon, that's when we're going to go ahead and attack Bad Teeth or Blister Hill. I haven't really decided if we're just going to go for it. I think with how much time we have, we should just go for it. I think we could take Blister Hill, and we won't push into the city until we're sure about that. We're gonna bait them into fighting outside the city so that we don't get bogged down. We can't get thrown in jail, and we'll do it like that. This way we can ensure we're really ready for it. If we start to feel like we're losing the fight, we'll back out and leave. We're not going to overcommit, let people get knocked down. The moment people start falling, we're going to be looking at retreating if we have to. We're also going to make sure we take lots of food. We're strong enough to carry so much food that there's no reason not to. Probably end up bringing most of this back and dumping it, but I just don't want them getting hungry. In the middle of the fight, if we have to, we can even force them to stop what they're doing and eat. Everybody's got food, everybody's got ammo, we've got med kits. We're ready to go. So when we come back this afternoon, that's going to be the plan. We will go and see how we do at Blister Hill. This has been Casually Dedicated. We're just doing a, what would you call it? Visuals mods only, just some performance mods and pathing mods so the characters are able to walk from one side of the map to the other with a lot better efficiency. But as far as combat, purchasing, crafting, this is just raw base Kenshi, and we're going to be trying to take on the Holy Nation when we get back this afternoon. I will see you guys then.